So we have a best looking game, which is a compromise between best art and best technical implementation of art. I think is
Yeah.
both of these things together.
If you can do
Um,
both,
you can
that's
do both. It's very strong, but it kind of covers cool art styles along with really technically proficient art styles.
yeah.
So we have Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Kentucky Route Zero, Necrobarista, Dreams, Spiritfarer, Paradise Killer, Other Side, Solitary Conspiracy, Hades, Cyberpunk 2077, Fall Guys, and Last of Us 2. Doom Eternal?
I didn't put it there.
Oh, did you? Oh, I must have put it there. Okay. No.
Game
I mean,
looks good, but no.
Game looks good,
Yeah.
but like not in a way that. Sure. Okay. Doom Eternal's not on this list. Half-Life Alyx is impressive because it's kind of what I said before. It's what happens when you can put a budget behind a VR game, and
Yeah.
it's a because it's in VR and because it's in first person. There's a density of scale that has to happen where like the clutter you get on a shelf has to all be readable because you're right up on it. And it's really impressive how they managed to pull off. It's also really cool because it's the first rendering of Half-Life 2 stuff in like
Modern.
like 8 years. When did episode 2 come out? Like
I don't remember.
whatever it is. And
Great.
it shows how much they've moved that engine forward to like this is all the stuff I remember but has looked better than it ever has before. And yeah, it's just it's a really good looking game and technically impressive that they got it running on a VR headset at that frame rate. It's very cool. KRZ Kentucky Route Zero is the one part of that. Well, the two parts of that game that worked for me really well are the visuals and the audio, the music.
Yeah.
And that game has some fucking incredible scenes, like just mind.
Some of the setups on that game are mental. Yeah.
Static shots, but also like in motion is incredible, and they also do some really interesting stuff with perspective is the wrong word, but like viewpoint, where like one of the the final release they put out has all of the interludes played at the right moments. So one of the interludes is the play where you are sitting in a cocktail table on the floor watching a play out in front of you. But at any point you can turn around and there's just the rest of the audience there on bleachers and they're all having a conversation about what they think of the play, but it doesn't play until you look behind you. So you can forget that you're actually part of an audience watching a play at some point. And just like the way the spotlight works and the way the characters all come up and the way it's lit and all this stuff, it's such a gorgeous looking game. Like it really
it's got a lot of style behind it.
Necrobarista is just because of the kind of design of that thing where they've taken the anime style and really made it their own in really cool ways. And there's a lot of like I think this is the game I've probably taken the most screenshots of this year, where there are a lot of like static camera shots in that thing that are just absolutely gorgeous in ways that you feel like that game shouldn't be able to pull off, but it really, really does, and it's excellent. Some really, really cool stuff. Dreams is a technical thing, I think, where it is bonkers what they can get that PS4 to do. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
There are some.
I just think that a lot of the style of the Dreams thing's a fucking nightmare, but it is. Yeah, like technically speaking, that thing's really fucking impressive, especially when you look at like the animations that people can do in it, like how fluid they can make everything look. Especially, it's staggeringly good. Yeah.
Spiritfarer is really good looking game.
I love the style of Spiritfarer.
Yeah.
It's
and specifically
such a cool
the
thing.
animation in that game works in a way that I don't think I've seen a 2D game do as well.
Is Spiritfarer hand drawn and then animated?
I'm pretty sure that they're all cell animated.
Because it looks like that, like cell animation.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not skeleton animated. It's definitely like cell animated for sure.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, it's spectacular. It just every part of that game just looks so good. Like it feels really cliche to say, but it feels like the perfect midpoint between Disney and Ghibli, where it's just
Yeah.
like fluffy things
can
feel
see that.
super fluffy, but also it's got like it can have an edge to it, and
Yeah, and people look like people.
people look. Yeah, it's just spectacucair. It's really cool.
I like the what's the name of your cat? I can't remember the.
It's I can't remember, but yeah, their animation.
The animation of that playing with its ball is brilliant on its own.
When you jump into the water, it hates they hate water, so they're just standing on the necklace thing, just like skating around the water, looking terrified the entire time. It's real good. Paradise Killer is a fucking amazing looking game. Holy shit!
Yeah, it really is.
They have built a whole world with in a way that makes a lot of sense for a team of that size, right? Where
they've made synthwave art believable in a world.
They've made a vaporwave album that makes sense. Yeah, totally.
But they've contextualized it in a actual like believable existence, which is not like, because most of the time synthwave is just like a fucking weird ass mindscape, but this is like they've actually grounded it and like given it purpose and like a reason for it to look like that.
And especially
really
when you
cool.
see the different areas of that game where like the beach just looks like an 80s movie, the farm or the garden or whatever you want like looks very mechanical in a way that seems like it's taken from like a solar punk novel. Like it looks great. And then like the main town where all of the residents live, who are not the VIP people, but like the main residents live, like it's just a Japanese suburb, like with the tiled walls and all of that kind of stuff. Like they've taken
high
all
rises
these,
look like that.
they've taken all these inspirations and then thrown on like, here's a giant marble skull and here's all of this
pyramids and neon tank
and geometric shapes and all of this kind of stuff, where it just looks, it's just a spectacular looking game. It really is.
Yeah, it's a really good looking game.
Other side's cool because it just pulls off we have made an entire game in black, white, and red, and it doesn't look boring. Like I like a lot of like is a strong word. The enemy designs in that thing are fucked in a real Bloodborne kind of way, and especially like the bosses, like the Doctor and stuff like that. Like it's just this very intimidating looking thing in a cloak with all of these scissors coming out of its back, and it's just it's horrible. But I like how that game looks, but it's probably not going to hang here. Solitaire Conspiracy looks excellent for a solitaire game in a way that it shouldn't. It doesn't need to look that good, but it really does. Especially because that entire game is one area. It is a sci-fi holographic table for the entire game, and looks great. I really like the art they've done for all the characters. I don't know. It's just it deserves called out here. Hades looks so fucking good. Holy shit.
Hades is it's remarkable. Like even every aspect of it is just so well done. Like the stills for all the characters are obviously just amazing portraits. They all animate and they all have differences in like what they're saying, which is all really good. The animations when you're actually out in the world are amazing for like every character, and every enemy have really cool animations. They're not, it's weird, I can't tell how they did it, but it's not like, how do you explain it? It's like the animations are running at like a weird frame rate. Like there's like a strange way that they move, but it works really, really well, especially for a game so precise. Like they have very much blurred the line between I can't tell what's 2D and 3D anymore. Where like Zagreus, I'm pretty sure is 3D, but there are definitely enemies that are not, and it all just seems to work. And it all blends. Like there's a unified art direction behind it.
Oh god, like I don't.
The gods themselves all look so cool. The fact that they were able to just go, we're going to draw this the way that we want, is amazing, and they all look fantastic, and they're all really different. Even something as simple as like the menus. All the menus are gorgeous in that game. Like when you look at the pool of, I can't remember what it is, the pool of suffering or whatever it is, the thing where you sell your boons.
Yes.
Like around that menu is like you see the pool. There's like moving blood water with like coins and stuff flowing in. It's an absolutely gorgeous bit of menu design, but it's just this one menu that's in this game that's huge everywhere. Like it's yeah, everything about it is like so you can see the like painstaking detail that these people went to in this.
Oh yeah,
and like props to the Supergiant art team because it's like they've always been super impressive with their stuff, but this thing is just like
it's staggering.
Complete out of the park. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really easy as well. It's really easy as well in a game that is just like this is Greek mythology to like land on touchstones really easily, but they've totally not done that at all. They've taken some ideas from the Greek idea, but then done their own thing with it that is totally unique and really interesting.
Like for me, it's oh god, names escaped me. The huntress god,
Artemis.
Like her design is the one that got me. That was like, I've heard like there's something about that, like that's the form you decide to take for this. And I really
it's like a weird like 17-year-old girl that is this master of the hunt sort of idea.
And it's such a cool like we've left all the traditional representations of these gods at the door and we're doing our own thing. Especially because like, and it's not even just like they had explanations for stuff like when they get asked, like it's really cool that some of the gods have like darker skin that you don't see in a lot of Greek or a lot of traditionally Greek mythology based media. And they said that because we did the reading, like, and if you do all the reading, they talk about the fact that like the gods are done as the gods are never Grecian. The gods are different from Grecians.
Yeah,
like
they're not Greek. They are Olympian.
They're Olympian, which are their own thing. So there's nothing to stop us from doing that, and it provides so much more interesting characters than like.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just it's so cool. Every single part of that design is just so great.
Props to Dionysus. That man knows how to party.
Man,
I love Dionysus so much.
You want to see a pairing of character art and voice actor? Like that dude is having so much fun
Dionysus
with that character.
Nailed it. Yeah, absolutely nailed it.
Cyberpunk, I think, again with the caveat that you have a decent PC.
Yeah.
In January 2021. And also for reference, I'm running that game at a custom setting because I had to switch some stuff off, but mostly I'm running it on high with ray traced reflections off, but ray tracing of everything else on, because reflections is the thing that kills it for my system for some reason. There are moments in the game that are absolutely staggering. There's a mission where you go out to I can't remember what they call it, but it's basically the crematorium, where they have people, they have the holes in the wall. I can't remember what the name of that is, but the holes in the wall for people with plaques on them. There's a scene there where I did that, and I did that at like as the sun was setting, and you turn around and it's just outside the city to the point where there's a city on the left, there's a sunset happening on the Badlands. It just looks incredible. There are like the amount of art in that city is again just staggering.
It's everywhere.
There's a real good delineation between like the city streets and like the corporate buildings and the apartments of like higher up people.
Yeah, even like areas of the city, you can tell.
Yeah, totally.
Like you're moving into like the area where all the corporations take over, so everything's really nice and really clean, and then you go out to like the Badlands where everything's shit. And
and then you go to Pacifica, and it's like these people have just built their entire civilization around, or their entire area around pre-existing buildings that they've just taken over and gone, no, fuck you, we live here. Because did you ever do that part of the story where you have to go into the mall?
Not yet. I don't think.
I think that's the first or second mission you do in Pacifica. But like, their whole thing is like they fucking hate this mall that's been built and then abandoned, and it's just like this thing is a blight on this place, and there's story reasons and all this kind of stuff. But it's just like it really does feel like. Yeah, it really does feel like a lived-in city with And it makes me, like I said before, it's really exciting to see that they've built a city of a decent enough size where they can tell a bunch of stories that could go in a bunch of places. Like I say, I want to see some more corpo stuff, because again, architecture in that thing is fuck. The inside of Arasaka Tower is something else.
Oh yeah,
like it reminds me of some of the best parts of Deus Ex and things like that in there. But also the real grimy parts of that city also look great. Fall Guys.
Fall Guys is just really nice. I like Fall Guys a lot. Like it is. It's weird when you say they've turned a battle royale game into like a primetime game show for this weird race of bean people, but it is like they've obviously gone for this design of like Takeshi's Castle mixed with like a BBC primetime thing where everything's really padded and nice, and it's all bubbles and like plastic padding that you would see in like a children's playpen and stuff like that, and it's all bright colors. It's just really nice. Like it's a nice thing to look at. It has a unique sort of style.
Does this game lose its position because we know that they're 6 feet tall and what their internals look like?
So yeah, I'm ignoring the internal diagram of what a bean looks like, because that is a thing that haunts my nightmares. So I don't want to talk about it.
Terrific. I do not want to think about it.
Yeah.
And then Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2 is just a technical powerhouse. Like that thing, there is so much power behind that it's staggering. Like the thing looks staggering. It's obviously like light looks incredible, water looks incredible, the vistas are amazing. The animations on people in particular are astounding, like unlike anything you'll see in a video game ever, because it's obviously there's a lot of work put into the mocap. But it's just like everything about it just looks incredible, but it is very, and it's they obviously have the art of like everything's very dark and grimy and everything's covered in mud and it's all shit. But even like there's a moment in that game, I think I talked about in the podcast, there's a moment in that game where Ellie is getting changed and like takes off her shirt. It's kind of you realize that you've seen characters take their shirts off in video games all the time, but you realize how wrong it looks until you see her do it in The Last of Us 2, and you're like, that just looks like a human taking their shirt off. Whereas every other video game is like there are tricks and ways to make it look like you're doing it, but you're not actually doing it. The Last of Us looks like it's fucking doing it, like looks like a human being.
I don't think there's going to be another game this year that has had so much, like where they basically put the game part of it to one side and just marveled at some technical aspect of it. Like the rope stuff is still mind-boggling to me. Really good. Like I've seen that done badly, and I've seen that faked really well, because you can do some hacks to like do it in specific ways.
As with everything,
But that just seems like magic, and again, like I haven't played that game, but it sounds like that thing is quite literally 100%ing people's PS4s, like fans spinning up. And
that thing was loud when you were playing that. It's
which would be interesting. Like when I finally borrow your disc, I'd be interested to see what it's like on a PS5, like if they've made updates to that game. But yeah, like if this was best technical, like it'd be hard to fault this thing.
You could not fault that thing on a technical front. It is just very real.
Okay, so what do we want for this? God, okay. I really feel like I want Paradise Killer for this.
Sure, I could believe that.
It's really fucking impressive.
So I think for me, the other two are Hades and Spiritfarer.
Really? How much Spiritfarer did you see?
I've played like 10 hours of it or something like that. Like I've seen a fair amount. Like it's
okay.
I've obviously not seen like every character or whatever. It really impressed me, especially like you were saying, the animations and stuff like that are
totally. I kind of feel like I want Kentucky Route Zero in there.
I'd be willing to relent if you want Kentucky Route Zero, because I can understand that, because that thing I've seen a lot of that game played, and there was a lot of amazing
there are very
sets in it.
There are very few games that I am in the process of hanging in my house. One of them is Transistor, and the other one is Kentucky Route Zero. Just because of the way it does it. I really do want to. It's probably that rather than Spiritfarer. I think it just edges out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Me.
I'm okay with that.
Like Spiritfarer is really good, but it's yeah, I think it's that. So it's Paradise Killer, Hades, and Kentucky Route Zero. Oh man, it probably. Like
So I will say at this point, like, I'm happy with either of the top two. Like, I think.
Oh really? Okay, because I was gonna
Yeah.
fight pretty hard for Paradise Killer, but understand the argument.
No,
for
like
Hades.
Hades has done a lot for art, but Paradise Killer is so unique and striking that
and cohesive. I think is the sheer joy of that.
All encompassing. Like, I'm perfectly fine with that thing.
Yeah,
taking it.
Okay,
Like,
I would like that up there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so Paradise Killer is the best looking game of 2020 with Hades and Kentucky Route Zero, taking the runners up slots. Almost there. We're getting there.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
Last two.